So, hello, Fidget and the Twitchers. Hello. So this is the furthest up north that you've been for your shows. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Blackpool,
So
I think, was the furthest. Blackpool at Rebellion, I think, was the furthest up north. But that's the only show we've played in the north of England other than today.
okay. Sick. How are you guys enjoying MPF so far?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's fantastic. Yeah, so it's just such a diverse group of amazing bands, and I've been really blown away by just how interesting most of the lineup's been. So we've had a great weekend.
Yeah, it has been lush. It has been super lush. And you guys are obviously like a Bristol band. Do you notice any differences between the Bristol DIY scene and the Manchester scene from what you've experienced so far?
There's a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
I would say, you go to see a band and then you go and see another band, and the band you just watched is down the front at another stage watching that band, and it's like, you can see all the people from the bands are enjoying the festival as much as for the punters, as it were. And I feel like there's a real togetherness between not just the audience and the performers, but also everybody and the event itself. So it's been lush. And Bristol can be a bit like that as well, and I see a lot of similarities with it.
Yeah, like I'd definitely say similarities more than differences with you as well, because it is something that we've struggled with a little bit. Is people in Bristol are like really friendly, and the audiences are like really up for pretty much anything. So
Spoiled.
So our last gig we played in London, like it was really quite tricky for us because the crowd was like not giving us anything back. They were enjoying themselves.
Are we doing badly?
Yeah, but at least definitely here for MPF, like it makes us feel at home how friendly and receptive people are,
Yeah.
One difference is that here there are a lot more human pyramids, and I love it. It's very good.
That's not much of a Bristol thing. That really isn't.
I was so excited. I was like, you guys aren't ready for the amount of pyramids that are going to happen at
It's
this
so
festival.
easy to happen as well. I've just seen someone just go.
Yeah.
I went in a human pyramid yesterday wearing these, which I definitely should not have done. That was a terrible move.
there's been a couple of times where like people have gone like that, and I've gone yeah, and then gone on the bottom, and there's been people that have gone, no, you're not meant to be on the bottom, like stand up. I was like, no, I can take it, I can do it. But yeah, no, it's so nice that you guys are enjoying MPF, like super special festival. And your debut album, I Got Steam, came out in January in 2022, and since then you've just kind of been smashing it with gigs and festivals, basically. But a lot of your album has quite a lot of important themes in it, and one of the songs in particular, Big Man, talks about some pretty important stuff. I don't know if you want to tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like almost everyone at this festival, male, female, or anything in between, has experienced some sort of toxic masculinity at one point or many points in their life. I know that I certainly have, and I feel like it's important to push back at that kind of stuff, but also poke fun. Like, that's a very human affliction of dealing with shit. It's just laughing about it. And if you can make something funny, but also make someone think, that's something that I think is always resonated with me whenever I listen to a song. So I tried to kind of get that across with that, and you know, it's a worthy cause. It's never fallen on deaf ears when we play it live.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a really good one to include in the set for Manchester Punk Festival. But you've also got some new songs that are going to be played, which is super exciting, and I think they're fucking sick tunes. They're so good. What do you want to tell us about some of the new songs that you're playing and what they're about?
So I'll say one in particular because it's the most fresh one. It's about being... I can say anything I want, right? Yeah, okay. It's about being physically fucked by a landlord.
Yeah, okay.
Like, actually fucked by a landlord, rather than metaphorically, oh, they're making me pay too much money. It's like, yeah, just get your fist right up in me. And I tried to, like, again, try and make it funny whilst also making people like, yeah, why are we put up with this shit? Yeah. It turned out as a bit of a heavier one than when we first intended, but it's good fun to play, and it seems to go down quite well.
Yeah.
We're still working on it, but it's definitely gig ready.
No, I think it's definitely a new like favourite amongst people.
It's about getting fucked by a landlord. Not metaphorically, actually.
So have you got plans for more tunes to come out soon, or anything?
We're in the process of writing our second album. Yeah, but we're like trying to mix all the inspiration that we've gotten from playing at festival season, from playing at the punk festival, and kind of just branch out and see where it takes us. So yeah.
Super cool.
We're working on it.
Yeah, that's so
That
exciting.
festival was a really inspiring time for all of us because we've all been to festivals, but none of us had ever played festivals before last year. Speaking for myself, actually, mainly, but
Nothing major. I played one or two.
okay, well, that was the most run of festivals that any of us had ever played, and it was 5 or 6, and we really got to soak in a lot of what we enjoyed about watching live performances and what we then like to work on next.
For stuff coming out, are we allowed to talk about that Donk Chamber?
Probably not.
Wow, that's it. I'm not going to say anymore.
Glad we got that on the mic. Exclusive there. Anyway, moving on. So we've obviously also put a show on together. We did our Riot Garden's first Bristol show last week, and yeah, it was really sick. It was really, really good. So that was at the Lion. Loads of people turned up. Like, it was great. But you know, Riot Garden, we choose our bands because we feel like you guys stand with a lot of the ethos that we hold. Do you feel that all of you being so unapologetically yourselves has an effect or any kind of backlash? And I mean that kind of generally, but then also there are people that are, you know, you have women and gender non-conforming people in your band. Do you feel that has an effect at all, or has it all been lovely? Everyone wants to talk, I can see everyone. It's great.
Yeah, generally we've always had a really good reception, and you know, the fact is that we are now majority, 4 of us are queer and gender non-conforming and things like that, but we're still playing in like hugely male-dominated lineups, like kind of cis male dominated lineup. So this is something that was so beautiful about the Riot Garden show, like playing in a lineup with so much incredible diversity. And it's another thing that has been so amazing about being here at Manchester Punk Festival, because you know, it's so progressive, and the bands, regardless of the content of their members, they're it just feels like a really forward thinking, and like I can see the future of punk as a scene, which we need to, you know, shed all the old ideals, and we're moving towards it, and that's what's been so empowering about being here specifically. It's just been amazing.
It's been a wholesome week of punk things, hasn't it? It's been lush. Yeah. Does anyone else have anything to add?
Well, I think, like, obviously, as one of the just, I don't know, generic cis male gender people in the band, I think it's been nice, because I've been listening to metal since, you know, I'm 38, I've been listening to metal my whole life, listening to punk my whole life, and I think it's testament to our musics that we have been and are able to, like, embrace new ideas, let everybody in from any walk of life, and that's what it should be. It should be about unity together against not just anybody that's oppressed, but everybody. And I think it's great to be part of a band that's got a little bit of gender diversity. But yeah, we want to see more, and I think it's part of, you know, up to us to try and encourage and embolden people to get in bands and get on that stage.
Yeah, definitely. Did you have anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to be happy if I was just in a band full of 6 dudes anyway, so I'm really happy that everything in this band has felt like it's just fallen into place. I haven't forced things to happen, but they've all fallen into the perfect place, it feels like, again, and like with the right people. And if those people were 6 dudes, it wouldn't have felt right, I don't think, because you guys you're all right.
They're pretty good. Pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Yeah, we're sadly missing our beautiful drummer Wana, who's
And our other saxophonist, who is currently in the middle of the Caribbean, which is a good excuse.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Juana's only a bit ill. Joking, Juana, love you, mate. Yeah, and also I know that the DIY ethos is also super important to you guys. And yeah, is there anything that you want to talk about, how your band is so DIY, like what kind of things you do and why the DIY scene is so important to you?
We try and do as much as we can ourselves, including our merch, which is something that we all think is really important, because what's the point in saying, yeah, fuck capitalism, you know, kill all of that shit, buy our stuff, it was made in China. You know, you're not practicing what you preach, and it's again, like, that's that's a big part of what we do. We're not clothing companies, but we have to do it. So if you have to do it in the best way you can do it. And that, if that's time consuming and effort consuming, so be it. Because it's either us making that or some, you know, poor little girl in India in a factory or something, which I'd rather do the sweat, you know.
Our lovely friend and manager Emily does all like the screen printing, so it's nice to be able to do that. So it's a bit more like homemade, but also professional looking.
She's been smashing it, to be fair, the last few days.
Got a fresh batch of t-shirts. She's been the last 3 days before we were here slaving away over some screen. And then ironing with all.
I think it is important to find a balance though between like being as DIY as you can and doing as much stuff as you can, and also like giving artists and creatives around you an opportunity to get their work out there as well. So like when we need a new design, we'll you know, find a local artist or find one of our friends to do it. We'll always make sure we try to give them as much as we can for that. So it's like finding that balance between doing everything that we can with ourselves, and then also finding other people who we can elevate and like work with and like be part of the scene and bring as many people into this project as possible. You know, it's nice.
That's the cyclic nature, mate. That's the cyclic nature of the DIY community in general, isn't it? You know, the promoters are the people that don't get enough of the plaudits in lots of ways, like yourself with Right On. You know, you're out there and you're like, right, well, you know, which bands suit our ideology, and you know, when we can play, you know, and we'll often play shows in Bristol and just be like, yeah, we'll play. You know, we're not gonna. You know, we want those nights to carry on going, and you can hopefully sort of serve each other a little bit and support each other, and that's the way it's always been for us, really. I mean, when we started out, we were kind of nudging DIY promoters to get on lineups, and then after that, people just come to us, don't they?
Endlessly poking them was what was happening. You might have felt like it was nudging, but I was endlessly poking. Can we have a gig yet? Can we have a gig yet? Can we have a gig yet?
You know, I used to put shows on in Plymouth years ago, metal shows, and most of the time I'd be going to a cash point at the end of a night. You know what I mean? So, like, when I'm then as a musician, I'm always kind of, my mind's on that promoter. I'm not going to be like, oi, where's my rider? Do you know what I mean? I just like, I can see it's not that busy a night. Let's have a good time.
It's just about like having a bit of awareness and kind of also a lot of trust as well, because you know, we have a kind of price on the door, but we also won't turn anyone away if they can't afford it, because we try and trust that people won't take the piss. And also in coming with that, you know, that's why you bring bands that are part of the DIY ethos, because we're trusting each other that we're not going to fuck each other over about payment or whatever. It's like this is just about like having a lovely time and creating a really nice space. So, and I think, you guys smash it on that front, to be fair. Just kind of a last question. Have you seen any amazing bands that you want to plug this weekend, or ones that you're seeing today?
Boom Boom Raccoon. 100% Boom Boom Raccoon. They fucking smashed it yesterday.
Always kill it live.
Restarts on Fridays, nice.
Restarts was sick.
And obviously Casual Nausea.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing yesterday.
What was that band last night?
There's another band that I've heard are going to be amazing today. Who is?
Oh, the Boss Mags.
Yeah. Plug. Yeah. Anna and Hex are going to be playing in Boss Mags as well, so that's super exciting.
Making it big.
Yeah.
More is more.
Yeah. I can't believe that there's like going to be 10 of you on the stage at Zombie Shack, though. It's going to be mad.
We might have to do a human pyramid.
Yeah. I tell you, we last night when we were watching Sid 31, and Bobby was just at the front lying between both of the speakers. It was like
every available space as
like
every
this.
second went on.
It was like this, and he was just like melting into the stage, and I was like, do you know what would be really funny is if we got all of us to go and lie during the Boss Mag set, just like, I'm actually just really tired.
I'm going to go right at the front and look the most chilled out I've ever been while they're playing the most like crazy song. I'm just going to be like, put my sunglasses on and just make sure.
Because Sid 31 were not chilled. They were not chilled. They were like a wall of sound.
Playing at one point, I went, "You're right down there, Jacob Rees-Mogg," and I thought that was the absolute perfect thing to say.
So true. Yeah, it was so good. It was so good. All right, well, my beautiful people, that is it. But it has been so lovely to chat with you, and I hope you have a really nice rest of your weekend. Nice
Thanks
one.
for having us.
Sick.
Okay, we here's allergic to brass. We have got a pharmacist here just in case. I won't take it. You can administer some. If someone's got anaphylactic over there.